If I was 30 pounds overweight and I had to get lean as fast as possible, this is exactly what I would do. Now, if you think this sounds unrealistic or not achievable for you, I've seen this done countless times with both guys that I've worked with as well as myself. These are guys in their 40s, 50s, even approaching 60 years old. Like Jeff, he's 53 and has lost over 55 pounds. And after doing this for 12 years now and trying every method, I found what actually works. Now, this isn't going to be another video telling you to eat in a calorie deficit or hit the gym 4, 5, 6 days a week. There are actually bigger things at play that pretty much all the typical advice online just neglects, because they're all just reciting the same BS they got from their exercise science degrees. So in this video, you're going to get my 5-step roadmap to actually fixing your body so 30, 40, even 55 pounds of fat loss becomes effortless. So this is not going to be a typical weight loss video. What I'm going to show you is actually how to heal your body so that fat loss becomes a byproduct. So if you want to make this the moment that you change your health, your energy, and ultimately your physique, then lock in for the next 5 or 10 minutes because I'm going to give you the entire playbook. Now, first, we need to address the elephant in the room. If you're sitting at 20, 25, 30% body fat, maybe you've got some mantids forming, you need to take some responsibility. The place you're at right now, the body you see in the mirror, is mostly from your own decisions. But this also means that you are in complete control and able to change this. You wasn't born 30, 40 pounds overweight. I know for me, when I looked at myself around 2022, just come out the other side of the coof, I'd been eating and drinking like a jackass. So this video assumes that you're not just going to be, smashing 10 pints a night all throughout the World Cup or ending up in Cheesecake Factory every Sunday, although I couldn't blame you. So what is the main problem in the world right now? Well, there's a lot of BS that's fucked you over, especially in Western societies like US, Australia, UK. People are getting fatter and unhealthier every year. It's around 1 in 2 Americans are going to be obese by 2030. Now that is just insane. And if you consider how many of them will also be low energy, will be living way below the standards, have some sort of health implications, you're pretty much talking 90% of the fucking population. Yeah, everyone's tried the keto, the carnivore, all these sort of fad diets, and nothing seems to work. And I did this myself, which is why I went into this whole deeper root of human biology and finding what's actually broken in the human body. So over the next 3 weeks, I'm going to break down exactly how to stop feeling so shit and how to actually revamp your energy. It's a daily 3-minute read and I'll send it straight to your inbox. So if you want to get that, just click the second link in the description now. Okay, so part 1 of this 5-step system. So this is what I see as the grandfather of health, because if you don't get this in line, pretty much everything will fall apart. And this is a problem that over 75% of men have said that they deal with, and that is having high stress levels. Now, the sciencey term for this is dysregulated cortisol. This just basically means that you're in what you might know as a fight or flight state for a long duration of the day. But why is this so bad for the body? Well, firstly, it's one of the biggest reasons that you are struggling to burn fat right now, because cortisol is just a hormone. So when this is elevated, this actually blocks the enzymes that your body produces to burn fat. And one of the highest concentrations of this is actually around your visceral organs. So one of the most important things you can do is improving your stress levels. Some easy wins here are things like not going on social media first thing in the morning, getting better sleep, all these sort of things that add up to your cortisol regulation. And I wouldn't focus on anything else before getting this in check, which will actually give you a better life expectancy, it'll give you better energy levels, and ultimately actually help you burn fat. All right, so step 2. So this is something that you've definitely heard of before, but you've probably not had anyone explain it to you like this. And if there was just one thing that you could start doing from today and you'll actually see a difference, it's this. And that is alcohol. So for most of my childhood and early teen years, I was a pretty heavy drinker. And throughout this time, I always carried an almost podge of belly fat and puppy fat and inflammation. And no matter what I did, even it doing 4, 5, 6 month cuts, I was never able to even get close to getting a lean physique. And until I actually quit almost 4 years ago now, I didn't see any progress. So why is drinking such a big problem? Well, at the core of it, alcohol is a poison. You are literally poisoning your body. So when your body has to filtrate out this alcohol, the first thing that happens is your liver will turn ethanol into what's called acetaldehyde. And this is essentially an even worse poison that's more harmful to your body than the actual alcohol itself. So this is why you will notice things like a bad hangover the next day, because you've got so much of these foreign toxins and poisons in your body that this actually blocks any other process during this time. So your body is not going to prioritize burning through macronutrients or trying to regulate any of your body's processes. The number one job is just to filter out the poison ASAP, and everything else will go on hold. And the other side of this is that alcohol actually increases what I call calorie promiscuity. So doing things like smashing a fat kebab or having the pizzas or the KFCs on a night out is firstly just a big fatty shit food calorie dump. But the actual mechanism of this is that your body can't process any of this food whilst you are inebriated, because it's not able to actually use any of that food whilst you're still processing out these toxins. So that food pretty much has to only be able to turn to fat stores. And there's many other downstream side effects from alcohol, such as fragmented sleep, higher baseline cortisol, hormonal imbalances, increased insulin sensitivity, pressure on the organs like your liver, your kidneys, your heart, your small intestine. I could talk about the negatives of alcohol all day. So if you take anything from this video, it's how much that even just 1 or 2 drinks a day can fuck you. All right, so step 3. Now this is what I call the silent killer of man, and that is having fucked hormones. Now, you've probably heard of things like testosterone before, and this has become a bit of a buzzword, but this actually makes up just a small part of your endocrine system. Now, there's a lot of grifts that you see online surrounding testosterone, but testosterone has actually dropped over 40%, and as a result, estrogen has risen a lot in the last several years. Now, you will see a lot of BS online surrounding testosterone, like Shilajit, ashwagandha, Tonka Ali. Most of these products are complete bullshit. Now, I'm not saying that they don't do anything, but they are highly ineffective for actually restoring your hormonal balance. So why are these hormones such as testosterone such a big deal in fat loss? Well, there are actually 3 main reasons. The first is your affinity to be able to build and maintain muscle mass. So when your body burns fat, it has to use its own cells for energy. Now, the goal is to use our fat stores and actually the glucose from, fast-acting things like sugars. But when you have low testosterone, your body can actually give up your muscle, because having muscle on your body is quite a calorie taxing and expensive sort of luxury to have. And when you have no reason for your body to keep it around, your body will start to prioritize more of burning muscle for fuel as opposed to burning just all fat. So having a high testosterone can actually make sure that you keep your muscle mass, which is going to help so many downstream effects. The second point is energy loss. So assuming that you've got the calorie consumption side of things controlled, one of the biggest drivers of fat loss is being high energy and just fucking moving more. This is the calories outside of the Kiko equation. So when you're high testosterone, you're going to be more likely to want to move, to be driven, and not feel so sluggish and lazy. But when you're low testosterone, you're going to be very sedentary and have low drive and desire to actually move. You can think of this like when you've been ill or hungover, when you're just sat doing fuck all on the sofa all day, compared to being when you've been really fucking excited and you couldn't sit still for more than 5 minutes. So the amount of what's called free testosterone in your bloodstream is going to be the determining factor of how energetic and how much drive you've got. And this can be the difference between making no fat loss and up to 1 to 2 pounds per week. So this is fucking huge. And third is aromatization. So aromatase in the body is what converts testosterone into estrogen. So you will see this in men with feminine features such as having man tits and having more thigh fat and holding fat around their midsection and the love handles. And this actually changes the profile of things like insulin sensitivity and nutrient partitioning. So getting your testosterone levels and your hormones in check is one of the highest ROI things you can do for your fat loss. The system I use to fix this is called hormone restoration. This has been a game changer and it's now one of the staples inside my coaching. If you want to see how I can help you with this, just click the first link in the description. All right, so step 4. So one of the most common pieces of advice for men is to move from 4 days a week to 5 or 6 days and pretty much spend every day training. Now, not only is this horrible advice for fat loss, but also for your muscle. And you see this also with people who tell you that there's muscle building reps and also fat loss building rep ranges. I remember one of my first cuts in 2018 doing this. I was hitting the gym pretty much every single day, and I'd somehow come up with this magic number of hitting reps of 24 at a time. I remember actually being in my university gym and I was pressing on dumbbell press around 35 kilograms at the time for maybe 5 reps. And I moved down to the 20s for sets of 24 at a time. This was one of the worst cuts and physiques I've ever had. If I have any pictures, I'll put them on screen now. So why is high frequency training like 4, 5, 6 days a week so bad for fat loss? Well, if we go back to step 1, cortisol is the enemy of fat loss. So when your body's in a deficit, it has a lot less nutrients available to rest and recover. So when your body's more fatigued, this actually ramps up your cortisol. So the last thing you want to be doing is being in the gym for 4 to 6 days a week and actually increasing your cortisol and your fatigue higher, because this is how you will absolutely blunt your fat loss response and actually increase the likelihood of getting injured. The solution for this is just training a lot less. So for me, the sweet spot has been training just 2 days per week. Now, this is an absolute game changer, especially if you're an older guy. Not only will you have way less fatigue, you will actually have so much more time and energy for things that actually promote fat loss, as well as just enjoying your fucking life. And training is not a fat loss tool. Training is a muscle building tool, which is there to get the highest stimulus, the highest output and benefits that you can in the least amount of time spent. Now, when I realized this, it was a bit of a penny drop moment that you don't need to be spending every day in the gym. You should be spending as little time as possible to still get 80-90% of the benefits, which is just going to cause a cascade of so many other improvements that you can actually improve your life in. Say now that you've got 5 days free of rest and recovery compared to having just 2 days. And this is the core of what I call rest focused training. Now, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I guarantee if you give this a try and just go to the gym for a couple of days per week and really try to make the most of them sessions, then you will notice you've got so much better energy, you'll feel so much better, and your fat loss will actually start to really improve. All right, so part 5, and this is the most obvious one, and that is your sleep. Now, I need to reiterate, this whole system assumes that you aren't eating like a dickhead, okay? So when it comes to fat loss, sleep is a major lever. This is because when you're sleeping, you're getting into a parasympathetic state, which is basically your rest and digest. And this is one of the cause of priming your metabolism. So some of the main benefits of dialing in your sleep are lowering your cortisol, getting better heart rate and blood pressure stabilized, and actually spiking your growth hormone, which comes from your deep sleep. And this further puts you in that low cortisol, low stress environment, which will actually decrease your insulin levels and actually help you efficiently burn fat through the night. So this is a key lever to pull. So that's the full 5-step system you want to inject into your life to start making fat loss effortless. So to recap, it was number 1, fixing your cortisol. Number 2, lowering your alcohol intake. Number 3, restoring your testosterone and hormones. Number 4 is fixing your training. And number 5 is fixing your sleep. And if you're ready to do the same, the Lifestyle Athlete is our concierge health experience designed to help you lose 30 pounds plus while styling all 5 of these steps and actually fixing both your health and your lifestyle. So click the first link down below if you want to join us. So that's exactly what I would do to lose 30 pounds plus ASAP. But how do you actually design this around your lifestyle? Well, click this video here where I'll show you a simple daily structure that you could do with your eyes closed. Shout out Stevie Wonder. Well, click this video here where I'll show you a simple daily structure so easy that Stevie Wonder could follow it.